Maria, thanks indeed for talking to us. A few years ago, it was enough just to prevent infection of your PC. Now businesses are having to detect if they are being hacked and formulate their response speedily. So this has really evolved tremendously, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Absolutely.
Now, your report shows that the banking sector, for example, has become the #1 target for hacking. That's up 24%. And I suppose what happens there is that we get a sense that perhaps the banking sector is becoming more and more a target of a successful target of such hacking. Is that the case?
Well, yes. Banks and other payment systems are the most loved aims of the hackers and scammers.
You talk about fake job offers that seem to come from HR recruiters. That's the big one at the moment, isn't it? Can you explain to us exactly what happens here when it comes to fake HR recruiters?
Well, yes. It's a huge spam campaign we have discovered, and it consists of several steps. First of all, there was spam mailings. A lot of people received spam messages promising them to find a dream job. The scammers try to convince users that the best companies want to employ them right now. It required to install an application to get an access to the database with really good openings. It could be done by clicking on the link from the message and saving a certain file. To make the process look more real, the fraudsters used some known online employment websites. So after clicking on the link, the users thought to be redirected to one of such websites to get the desired application. But instead, a malicious program was downloaded to their computers, which in its turn gave a command to its control center to download another malicious program. And this second program was created for stealing money. Its main task is to collect information about credit cards and bank accounts and to give it to the control center.
Let me ask you, Maria, what do we know about where these spam and hacking attempts come from? Are there particular countries that are popular?
Well, what is important to understand that spam is an international phenomenon. Not always the geography of spam depends on geography of scammers. It means that scam can be sent from the USA, for example, and be received in South Africa as well.
I've seen in your report that there was some mention about countries like China, for example, where you see a lot of these spams originating. I mean, is there something important that we've got to bear in mind with countries like that?
Well, these countries are huge, and there are a lot of companies and services, mostly international, discovered them there, and that's why hackers always aim at such countries.
And just finally, I see you are opening up an office now in Kigali. What's the strategy as far as South Africa, Africa as a continent is concerned? Why are you here?
Well, our main goal is to be as transparent as we can be. We want to educate people how many threats there are all over the world, and especially in web, and we want to tell the people that those threats can target they all. So we need to educate people.
All right, thanks very much. Maria Virgil, a senior spam analyst at Kaspersky Lab.